You have to cultivate relationships. It takes time. And you have to be a role model. You have to be in a position where you're going to model the sort of behavior that a unionist has. You have to speak out. You have to publish. You have to file grievances. At the same time, you have to talk and you have to listen. You have to understand where the people are coming from. It just takes time. And then gradually, the one thing I noticed when I ran for chapter leader the very first time back in the mid-90s, people I thought would have my back were gone. But the great thing was, and Orna Silverstein is one of the people I didn't even know, just came out of the woodwork and said, we're with you. So to be open to that, to trust that, and stand for what you think is right, there will be people. They will emerge. Gandhi always was amazed by that. It's true from my experience.
It's been difficult for my school to get the, I've tried different times, but I don't think I've been that successful in getting a diffuse group of people. There's a certain group of people that always come out, and I can always depend on them. So I do have that, but as far as, like when we had our first consultation meeting when I was chapter leader, and I said, all right, we have these questions, and we all know them. I'll do one question, and somebody else will do the other one. And they were like, you're the chapter leader. That's your job. You ask the questions. And I was like, well, that would be, and they looked at me like, are you crazy, you know? And I was like, all right, I'll do it this time. But because they really, it's this very top-down thing. They see you're the chapter leader, you are the one. You got elected for this job. Not our job, you know, and they come to you. I feel like I'm like the mother of the school, all the gossip, so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that, and did you hear so-and-so? Or they come to me and they tell me, and then I say, well, do you want me to go to the principal? We could do a brief. No, I'm just telling you that. I'm just telling you. I just want you to know what's going on, you know, so I feel like I haven't been that successful of getting, there's a small group of people, mostly older teachers, that are very committed, you know, whenever you ask a meeting, something, they're always there, they apologize for not coming to the meeting, but there's this huge group of people that just, if they have a problem, they'll come to you. So, I don't think I put out a lot of information to people. I have an email list for the school, we do get in conversations, but I feel we're not really there yet.
Ditto. I'm in a smaller school, and like I say, right now there's no noticeable, real big problems. So I think what I'm trying to do this year, last year I had more meetings, more consultation, where no one from the consultation committee even showed up to go to the consultation meetings, sometimes except for me and one other person. So this year I'm trying to focus in on, there's a few younger teachers, who I think have real good potential to become more involved in helping to run my chapter when I'm gone and be more involved in the union. And I'm trying to talk more with them and encourage them to come and do more things. But other than that, you know, if it's an issue that really affects people, they're going to come to a meeting. If not, the biggest turnout we get is for the pension meeting that I set up once a year. Everybody comes for that. And it's important. But I think education, building relationships, putting out a newsletter, no one tells me that they read it, and that's frustrating. But then when I talk to people, they say, I saw it, I saw it, I saw it. So even if they're not letting me know, it is having an effect, I hope. And that's important. I'm trying.
The idea of the union as a service and the union committee as sort of, you know, my lawyer, you know, which I have delegated everything to, is a total disaster approach that we have to really, I mean, that's why I was a chapter leader briefly, but I don't want to deal with it. I've been involved with unions for a long time. I think it's a total failing model, and especially at the local level, the school level. And it's, you know, we have to sort of rethink this whole idea, and it has to be like the union is us, the union is what we're doing, the union is what we're putting forward as an alternate vision for the school, for how it's supposed to relate to the parents and the students. And, you know, it's like coming forward with our views about what education should be and what should be going on in the school and how, you know, all the various policies should be. And it's all of us. It's not like I'm going to be the one to stand up in the meeting and, you know, call somebody out. That model is zero. It's not going to get us anywhere. And, you know, I think people have spoken to how we start to break this down a little bit. Although James is a great lawyer, not to demean lawyers.
I agree with Sean. To get the others involved is truly like pulling teeth. But I was sort of lucky when I started way back in '96 as chapter leader. The principal was running an illegal PM school because she was giving her friends per session job, which is overtime jobs, where they were teaching classes that should have been regular classes. There's the 6th and 7th class on a day, and high schools are entitled to 7 classes, and lunch. So 1 week into my term as chapter leader, I was put on the spot, and are you going to stop this? And basically went and had this meeting with the principal. I still remember how nervous I was. And basically said, it's illegal. You can't do this. You're cheating the kids. And I knew I was going to get killed by the people who were doing this job around the per session. So I said, man, I got to do the right thing. You got to reprogram and give these kids 7 classes in a regular day like you're supposed to. The day later, as expected, the people that lost their per session came to me and tried to, you know, say, how do we get rid of you? But other veteran teachers who I didn't speak with for years, I mean, I barely knew, were coming to me within a day or two and saying, what can we do to help you? And it's stuff like that. It's really, you know, old hokey things, but honesty and integrity. And then people will believe that you're doing the right thing, and then you can get people involved to hopefully have more of that union spirit that Sean was talking about, where it's all of us.
When I took over as rep, as I had said, the last rep did not have a consultation committee, and I didn't even know it was supposed to have one until I went to one of the chapter trainings, and then right away started it. And since then, we meet every month. We have 10 members. We have a rep for every grade. We have a para rep. We have a secretary rep, and now we have an aide rep. So we've really been very successful at that. Initially, people would come and just, here's my problem. You know, that's it. They'd come with the grades problems. So then it became, okay, you can come with the problems, but now we want you to at least come with some possible solutions. What do you want us to do? We're not just, here's a gripe session, but let's try to accomplish something. And that's worked really well. So in September, we put out our schedule for our 10 meetings for the year, and nobody misses a consultation, very, very rarely. We have a woman who has cancer. She makes sure she has somebody else who comes every month while she's in chemo, so that we make that, you know, we're always discussing things. So I think we have a lot of credibility, and it is good to spread, you know, that this way they listen to their grade members, and then we work together, and then it's decided whether or not it would be better based on the principal's personality, whether the 2 co-chapter leaders just approach him by ourselves, or if it's a bigger issue that the consultation committee then approaches him. And we've also spoken with him about using us to screen, you know, reading programs and things like that, because we've gone through like 4 or 5 reading programs, and it's just ridiculous the amount of wasted money, and said, you know, use us, we represent all the grades, so hopefully we'll get him to do that more. He once in a while does it.
I think, you know, you can sum it all up in three words, you know, how to kind of get started and listening to everyone, and it's trust, collaboration, and empowerment. And, you know, when we got together, when our invasion first started, you know, 30 of us got into a room, actually my living room, and parents and teachers, which I think is also a really key factor in all of this. You know, it's not, you know, it is a teachers union, but we're there to serve children and their families, and I think that's one of the most important things about tenure, is that it protects us so that we can advocate with parents for their children. So, you know, 30 of us got together in my living room, parents and teachers, and we hammered out a shared vision. And, you know, from there, the collaboration piece was, okay, what are you good at? What are you good at? What are you good at? You know, I can do visuals, I can do copies, I can write press releases, I can, you know, drive by these 5 schools on my way home, and everybody carved out a role for themselves and then, therefore felt empowered. And, so those three things just kind of then keep going in a cycle, whatever the issue is that comes up.
Well, I'm going to jump in and I'm just going to add one thing to give you a preview of the book. When I was organizing in Jersey City, I went to every person I knew on campus who was a radical, who was a progressive. And I was a salesperson. And nobody wanted to become active in the union because it was so disgusting and old and sclerotic. And I went to every single person and I said, well, you're involved in X, Y, and Z. The union could be using its resources to support you in that work with gay and lesbian and transgender students. We have a human rights committee. Why aren't those issues the ones that we contribute to? And so I went to every single person, and I ran into somebody at the Left Forum, and I said, Bill, why aren't you active in the union? Here you are bringing students to the Left Forum. We need for you to be active in the union. And I talked to him for 20 minutes, and I persuaded him to be active in the union, and he's now vice president of the union. So you are a salesperson. You are a salesperson for a vision of a different kind of union. And you have to be thinking about what the union could be and should be, and sell that vision to individuals. That's what I would say is the answer. And it means going to individuals when you're alone and talking to them about that vision and how they can make that vision. They can help you make that vision happen. So that would be my,
I have a blog post, the union that believes in nothing, and it's been my constant drumbeat against the UFT. The union has no vision. And I had an argument with Randy Weingarten over this. What do you mean? We got a mission statement. I said, it's not the same thing.